Welcome to newspaper analysis session. Today is July 2. Topics that we are going to cover today. So there is in the news Quad, an important informal grouping. So we'll try to understand about this grouping, and then we'll try to understand about this employment linked incentive scheme and the Prime Minister's internship scheme. This is in the news, employment linked incentive scheme. This was announced recently. Okay. So we will try to understand about this and the advantages. And then we'll try to understand some of the editorials that are mentioned in the Hindu. Okay, there is an editorial that is talking about the reservation issue, how the reservation is not properly being implemented. This is what they have tried to discuss, and they have also discussed about the rural demand. And there was also one article, it was there yesterday also, about the artificial rain, cloud seeding. So we'll try to discuss about these concepts as well. Already this year they have asked question about this, the same cloud seeding. What is this cloud seeding? They have asked. Okay, then we'll try to understand about the Operation Conviction and the Operation Melon. This is for your governance, GS2 governance. And some of the topics are from your GS3 and some of the topics are from your GS1. So we'll try to understand those groupings. Okay. So here basically what is the context? So so our defense minister, when he met the Quad members, he basically said, he actually reiterated our stand against the terrorism. So why we have conducted the Operation Sindoor? Because Pakistan has attacked our sovereignty. So it is our right, whenever any country or any country sponsors terrorism to attack other country, then it is our right to respond. This is what reiterated by our defense minister. So where did he reiterate it? When he attended the Quad meeting. So we need to understand what is this Quad. Okay. Also, let me just revise. So what are these non-state actors? Now, Pakistan has not directly attacked in India. They have attacked through terrorist groups. Okay. So this is called non-state actors. These are not, state has not directly attacked India. They are attacking India through non-state actors. If India asks Pakistan, they'll say, we are not the one who attacked you. Some terrorist groups are attacking you. Now, what is the guarantee that terrorist groups are supported by us? It is very difficult to establish a proper clear link. So this is how through non-state actors, Pakistan tries to attack India. So what is our current stand? If any country is trying to attack us through non-state actors, and if that particular country is not supporting to do the investigation or to nab those criminals, then we are going to attack you or attack their terrorist establishments. This is what we are going to say, and this is what we have established. So we have also said we have not attacked you. We have destroyed the terrorist establishments in the Pakistan area, which we called as a Operation Sindoor, right? So this is the stand. Then if you attack us, then Pakistan has retaliated. When we retaliate, then Pakistan says we have the nuclear bomb. Okay. So India said this time we are not going to get threatened by your nuclear bomb threat. Okay. So we have attacked their defense establishments as well. Okay. So this is the new stand, new defensive stand. New, not defensive. It is an offensive stand. Offensive defense, we can say. That is a right word. Okay. Previously, like say when the Mumbai attacks has happened, India has not attacked Pakistan. But after 2060 onwards, okay, after the Uri, all these kind of attacks, we are responding in a right manner. Okay. This is called as an offensive defense policy. This is about the Operation Sindoor. In the Operation Sindoor, so they can ask us main question. We have displayed our indigenous technologies, our defense capabilities. So with this, we have not only projected ourselves as a defense power, but we have also showcased our technological capabilities as well, using the indigenous anti-defense system, like Akshatir. We have discussed these things. Okay, apart from the Russian imported technologies. So because of this thing, demand for our missiles as well as the demand for our products has also increased. So we have also made a deal with the other countries like Philippines, these countries. So we are also currently selling the arms to the Armenia, who is the Turkey's rival. Okay, this is about the Operation Sindoor and its implications. Now coming to here. So here this is a Quad grouping. We have discussed previously about the SCO grouping. What is SCO grouping? It is a group of how many members? 10 members. Shanghai Cooperation Organization. It is primarily a group of which region? Central Asian region. BRICS is a primarily grouping of which countries? Developing or the emerging economies. As an alternative to the Western blocs. Same is true with the SCO. SCO and the BRICS are the alternative to the Western blocs or Western groupings like WTO, not WTO, World Bank, IMF. Now Quad is a grouping which is an alternative to the East, like say for the Russia. Especially in the Indo-Pacific region, China always commands its authority. China says we are the kings. It will try to claim all those islands. We have discussed the South China Sea. Where is the South China Sea? Okay, South China Sea dispute we have discussed. We have discussed the South China Sea is a dispute between the various countries that are present here, like dispute between China, Philippines, Indonesia, Myanmar, Taiwan. Okay, all of them are claiming the territory. But what is the dash line? 10-degree dash line, which is released by the China, and it claims majority of its South China Sea under its territory. Now, if it is claimed by the China, we have to pass through the South China Sea, then we will get hurt. So here India says we have to maintain rules-based order. Okay, China does not follow rules. We follow the rules-based order. So Quad is not a formal group. It is an informal grouping. Who are the members? Can anyone say? Anyone? India, USA, Japan and the Australia. So these are the 4 members present in the Quad. So how many members? 4. US and then India, Japan and the Australia. It is an informal group. It does not have any kind of secretariat. No secretariat. No declaration. No formal agreement. No declaration or formal agreement, formal charter or anything. There is nothing. India also do not want to antagonize China. Okay. So USA says sometimes this is a kind of military grouping. Whenever China hurts USA will say, yeah, see, we have this military group. We are going to cause you damage. India says, hey, no, this is just chai meeting, informal grouping. We are just going to meet Australia, have some tea. We'll discuss about the economic issues. We'll discuss about the disaster management in those Indo-Pacific area. Okay, this is what they say. See here, key areas of cooperation. This is what they say: infrastructure development, disaster response, humanitarian assistance, like it was happened in the Myanmar, where these countries supported 2004 tsunami. These countries have supported it. So we say cyber security, all these climate change, environmental related aspects, because this Bay of Bengal and all, these are the tropical cyclones affected area. So we want to support each other. This is what they say. We say. Okay, and we are also wanting to develop into some kind of economic platform for dialogue and cooperation. But background, this is what the essence. So you understood why we have not made any kind of formal agreement. Why we don't consider this as a kind of security aspect? Because we don't want to directly antagonize China, right? So you have understood basics. You have got clarity about the SCO. Then BRICS. Now this Quad, informal, no secretariat, no charter, no document. Now within these groups, they will also conduct a naval exercise. The same group, 4 members, does a naval exercise. That is called the Malabar exercise. Malabar. It is also very important. The same 4 members conduct the naval exercises to showcase our companionship. This is the Malabar exercise between these 4 countries. So are we clear? Malabar. And you also have one more group called AUKUS. Who are the members here? Okay, so these are the 3 grouping. Recently, USA has supplied a nuclear submarine to the UK. And UK has supplied that nuclear submarine to the Australia. Previously, Australia don't used to join in these kind of groups. But realizing that there are threats from the China, now they are openly joining these kind of groups. This AUKUS came into the focus only after 2017. Previously, Australia has not provided the vocal support for this. Okay, only after this it has came into the picture after 2017. Support of the joining up of the which one? Australia. AUKUS clear? Next time I'll ask. Okay, Quad. Malabar, I'll ask. Okay, at least some basics you should be able to answer. You should not forget this thing. In the same way, this kind of grouping, it is also present in the West. West means not that USA, that word, West Asia. That is called I2, U2. I2, U2. Can you guess who are those countries in this group? Good. India and Israel. And then what are those two U countries in the West Asia? No. USA is there. Yes. UAE and the USA. This is another grouping which is in the West Asia. Similar to this thing. So we are part of all the groupings. China-led grouping SEO are also part of BRICS. We are also part of this AUKUS, I2, U2, everywhere. Okay. So we have also discussed this Accords, Abraham Accords. What are these Abraham Accords? Just basic essence, Abraham Accords. To improve the relationship between which countries? Israel and Arab countries. Okay, Abraham. Okay, Israel and Arab countries. Okay, so USA is promoting more and more engagement. Now, if you see, today there was a newspaper discussion where they have removed sanctions on the Syria. Now, Syria has also made deal with the Israel. Even Lebanon also saying that we will make deal with the Israel. Saudi has improving its relationship with Israel. So, traditionally, all these Arab nations oppose the Israel. We have seen they have fought 3 wars with the Israel because they don't accept its existence. Israel is basically like 51st state of the USA. It supports all time. Okay, so all the time it keeps supporting the Israel. So you need to be very clear. So now they are trying to improve the relationships between the Arab nations and the Israel. Iran will be isolated. Trump says yesterday, we are not going to make any talks, any deals, no nothing. So we don't know. Tomorrow he will say, Iran is very peace-loving country, so we have made a good deal. So we do not know. So yesterday that has happened. So we'll wait and see if any future deal can happen between the Iran and the USA. So that is also important aspect. Clear? So this is a quad grouping where our defense minister has attended and given the speech why the Operation Sindoor was conducted. Okay. So we have discussed what is the squad, what is Malabar, what is the AUKUS, I2, U2. Now this was the scheme mentioned, employment linked incentive scheme. See here, it is scheme's role in providing the job for the 3.5 crore youth as a part of broader package announced in the Union Budget 2024-25 with a total outlay of 2 lakh crore. So whenever the scheme comes into picture, you need to understand. So it is trying to provide the employment. So it was announced in the budget 2024 and 2025 with outlay of 2 lakh crore. How it is going to provide the employment? And the primary role is employment and the formalization of the economy. Generally what happens, or suppose if I joined in any job, okay, as a full-time, currently this is freelancing, but suppose I have assumed, okay, I have joined as a full-time. Generally what happens, okay, if you join or anything, in India, 90% of the economy is an informal economy. Informal economy means you will not be on the payroll of the company. So it would be like contract kind of thing. So when you are in the informal sector, you will not be getting the social security like pensions, okay, pay slips, proper insurance, all these things you will not be receiving. So if you have to get those things, then you have to be registering yourself under the EPFO scheme, Employment Provident Fund Organization, EPFO. But if you register yourself in the EPFO, generally some of my money will be deducted and it will be deposited there. If I get registered, whoever is a person that is taking me as a employee, that employer will also need to pay some amount of money. So both employer and employee will pay some amount of money in the EPFO fund, and finally that money will be provided to me in the lump sum as a kind of social protection when I take the retirement or when I offer 10 years, 15 years. So you have understood. So this is a kind of social protection. Is a kind of saving scheme. This money will be used by the government. So there will be some lock-in period. So I cannot withdraw the money for some particular time period. When you invest money in the EPFO, You cannot withdraw the money as you want. At least there will be lock-in period of 10 years, 12 years like that. Okay. So now, the people will not be ready to register in the EPFO. So what the government said, so if you do the registration for the employee, we will pay your salary of 15,000, up to 15,000, not 15,000. So you must be having some salary. Okay, up to 15,000 salary will pay to you in 2 installments. So with this, I am getting extra money, 15,000. So I will go and register. This is for the employee. 15,000 rupees in 2 installments. For the employer, they said we will give 3,000 for 2 years for each person that got registered. For 2 years, you are getting for each person. So with this, both the employer and employee will be motivated to register that person under the EPFO scheme. Okay. Is this clear so far? Now tell me the benefits. So with this, what happens? The people on the payroll will increase. Okay. So this is like creation of more jobs. Sometimes, okay, even though there are jobs, but it is shown under the unemployment because they are not registered. So with this, job registration increases. First point. Tell me another points based on what we have discussed so far. Benefits based on what we have discussed so far. Other benefits. Very good. So that fund you will deposit there. It is a locked in for some time period. So government can utilize that fund for any other activities like capital development or anything, whatever the government wants. So the government is getting extra money. Okay, so I will keep this thing aside. Okay, so government extra money to utilize. What else? You can say provision of social security, safety net. Okay, so I am having the more savings. So it is very important. Social security. The main thing you are not saying. That first point. Same thing, social security. Why this was introduced? To formalize the economy. That is the point that you have to mention. Formalization of the economy. So formalization of economy is good for everyone. So government will have the data. Government will also get the tax. If I am formalized, if my payment is integrated, I cannot hide the payment of the tax. Everything is available online. Government will also get data about your income. And also government will also get how many jobs they are providing. And social safety will also be improving. So these are the benefits. And the government, the fourth point is this money can be utilized. And this can also improve the credibility of the organization who is providing extra benefits to the employee. So it is a good thing for everyone. Am I clear? Employee linked incentive scheme. Very simple. Providing incentive both to the employer and the employee. 15,000 up to 15,000 maximum to this person. First payment after 6 months after you do the registration. And if there are certain requirements, like say you need to get a little bit about the clarity on the financial literacy. In India, many people are lacking clarity on financial literacy. How many of you understand mutual funds, stocks, shares, insurance, these things, right? Even for the basic UPSC aspirants also, these things are not that clear. You can understand the scenario of the other people. Okay, many people don't even invest. They think of mutual fund, share, stock market investment means, oh, he's playing cards. Okay, so these things are, when I invest in the stocks, that is not the right thing. Okay, the people think that thing like that. Okay, so we need to provide that financial literacy. Okay, so you got the clarity. Employment linked incentive scheme, very easy. So always understand, decode it in your own language. Simplify things. What is it? Why it is? What are the benefits of it? So these things can be asked in the prelims. And in the mains, I will talk about, we have discussed the reasons for the unemployment. We have discussed unemployment and the issues. There I will talk about this thing. So what are the measures taken by the government to provide the employment? Another employment is provision of the internship scheme. So we have so many skilled people, but without any kind of training. So we have knowledge base, but without any kind of training. So there is also another scheme which is talking about the Prime Minister internship scheme. This has already come into the force from the April 1st, 2025. So you can just see this thing. Okay, who is eligible and all, what kind of benefits are, and all. I have just attached it here. Okay, just basic thing from the government website I have taken up. You can go through the PM mentorship scheme as well. INS Tamil we have discussed. Remember? From whom we are taking this? Russia. Where it is being developed, constructed? In the Russia. Which one? What is the place? It starts with K. Kalinga, not Kalinga. Kalinga. Okay. So under this project, we are developing the frigates. Frigates means attacker ships. Okay. They can do the normal surveillance. Also, they can attack. So you have different types of the ships. One thing is, biggest ships are the aircraft carriers. I told you. Okay. Then the next levels are the destroyers, and then the next level are the frigates. So we are taking various ships from the Russia, and finally we have commissioned this ship, and this would be the last ship that is being taken from the Russia, developed at some other place, Kaliningrad. Okay, rest of the ships will be developed within the India to promote the Make in India. This is another aspect. On the other side, we have also developed the project 17A. Again, this is also frigates that are being developed. So under this project 17A, we have developed these many ships. 7 ships are there under this. Okay. So recently, one more ship has been inducted. So they can ask, these ships recently in the news is under the which class? Okay. Or which project? So that is the project 17A, and this is the project 113.5.6 INS Tamil. Okay. All these are the frigates. Which one is a frigate in this? They'll ask. Just have a broad idea. Now the same thing, I will also talk about what are the various measures India is taking to maintain its security, to maintain its internal and external security. This is the question. So yesterday also we have seen satellite based surveillance. Then I will also talk about these things. Development of ships. Previously we have also seen, we have tested missiles. Pinaka we have discussed. Pinaka barrel from which we can launch 12 missiles at a time. Okay, barrels, okay, that can be moved. Okay, Pinaka missiles, indigenous missile systems we have developed. So, and we have also tested hypersonic missile. So now all this comes under the security related measures what India is doing. All these are from the current affairs that we have discussed. Now you have to organize them at one place. You have to think, you have to brainstorm what steps India is taking. We have studied at different places, single point. So you need to brainstorm, you need to think. Now you need not study everything, but Pinaka can individually ask for the prelims. For the mains point of view, you will study what are the missiles or what are the security related measures that we have taken. Okay. Apart from this, diplomatic groupings, all those things we are anyway doing. Participation in the SEO, participation in the Quad, our diplomatic outreach. What is diplomatic outreach? Our Indian nationals. Okay, the 21% from all the parties, they have visited different countries, and they have highlighted why we are going for this. We have went for this Operation Sindoor. We have discussed this thing, right? So got the clarity. Operation Sindoor, various measures. So you are able to understand the connectivity you have in the GS3 topic security issues. Under the security related internal security and the external security. External security means threat from the anything outside. Okay, it can be from the state or it can be non-state. Non-state means terrorist groups and all. Internal security means within this India, any kind of extreme wings or even the Naxalism, those tribal attacks, causing any kind of threat and violence to the local peoples is called the internal violence. Even the organized crimes, those things also come under this. Today we have seen, okay, under the organized crime, I'll show you. Under one project, NCB has busted some narcotic drugs from the dark web. See, even this is also security measure. This is a fact to substantiate my answer. So India is taking these measures. Okay. So what example you will provide? These are the examples I provide to substantiate my answer. Okay. See, this way I'll study for the prelims. Tushil class. Okay. Now follow on is a Talwar class. Okay. So it can launch any missile. Basically, these ships have the stealth technology. What is the stealth technology? Okay. So yeah, they can be hidden from the radars, from the enemy radars, and they can attack and can do the surveillance. So yesterday we have discussed about the pharmaceutical Sigachi accident. So from here, from the prelims point of view, see, this was a substance involved, this leakage, microcrystalline cellulose, which is chemically inert. Chemically inert means it does not react. Basically, this compound itself is not harmful, but the way that is manufactured, it may react with other compounds and create a kind of threat. So, see, these kind of questions again can be possible in the ethics case study. So, what kind of measures are needed in the industries, industrial safety? So, when you are involving so many workers, are you training them? Are you training them to handle these kind of hazardous materials? So, if you are not training them, if you are trying to save some money and escape, even the big companies, big corporates, okay, they will do, okay, to just save some amount of money and all. They are negligent even at the cost of the other lives. So those things, they has to be taken care. Okay, so many such incidents happens in the industries. Even every year you will notice so many such kind of incidents will keep on happening, one or two. Okay, so there should be proper checking, proper analysis of this thing, and there should be proper training. That's what it was given in the article. Okay, so from the prelims point of view, this is what important. Microcrystalline cellulose. Okay, it is a chemically inert material, and that is what during its manufacturing that has resulted in the loss. Now, whose negligence is there? So that's the point that you need to understand. Okay, industrial disasters can also be asked in the disaster management. But I believe this year, most possibility of the disaster management question can be earthquakes, landslides. Always it is in the probability it is there always in the news. Then stampedes we have already discussed. I have given you detailed material, okay, on the stampedes as well. Okay, or whoever have not attended those sessions, once can revisit that notes and that particular lecture. If again it appears in the news, then again we will discuss. But the content remains same. We'll try to revise the same thing with the extra newspaper. Okay, extra example. That's it. So when you revise the same content again and again, things get consolidated in your mind and you will feel better. Now see, reservation related article in the Hindu editorial. Okay, so India's commitment to social justice. What is justice means? What is justice? Always understand again, like I said, simple one line. Justice means, in one word, if you tell me. Huh? Okay, you can say justice means fairness. Okay, doing what is right. Social justice means providing that level of fairness, doing the right thing for the social means all the communities existing. So social justice is an important thing. So that's why social justice, in order to provide the social justice, reservation is one such measure. We are also taking various measures. Reservation is one of the measures to ensure the social justice because of the historical injustice. See, anything to do, usually what happens, it needs investment. Okay, so basically some of the disadvantaged communities, they do not have the land ownership or property ownership, so they will be at disadvantage. So competition becomes difficult. So we follow not equality but equity. So we try to empower them so that they come on equal pace with the others. We are trying to provide them extra support. This is called positive discrimination. Extra support. The same thing can also be called as affirmative action. So whenever we say the reservation, that is nothing but the affirmative action. It is a positive discrimination to ensure the social justice. That's it then. Justice, fairness, reservation, it is affirmative action or positive discrimination to ensure social justice. Sometimes students will also text in the 11:11 that is, sir, what is the answer for this? Okay. Sometimes in the early mornings by 7:30. Okay, sir, why are you not replying? Sir, please respond to me. Don't I have any personal life or what? 7, 11, 11:30. It was like, what has happened? What has happened? I'll be like early morning when I see the thing. Okay, sir, why are you not responding to my messages? Okay. So that is about the reservation. So government provides reservation. Initially, the reservation was only for the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes. This was the thing. Okay, 15%, 7.5%. 15.5, 15% and 7.5%. But later on, Mandal Commission, okay, it was formed. Mandal Commission was formed, and Mandal Commission said not just the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, but there are also many communities who are backward. Okay, and they also need protection. So that's why OBC reservation was provided after the Mandal Commission. So in order to not exceed the reservation, say for 100 jobs are there. So to make sure that not all the jobs are getting cleared under the reservation, Supreme Court under the Indra Sawhney judgment, they have made a final mark 50%. Okay, the reservation cannot cross 50% under the Indra Sawhney judgment, but still there are exceptions. Even the Tamil Nadu government has gone for more than 60%. They have to provide and substantiate with the data. Okay, but later on, some people say, okay, we are also economically backward. Okay, so we are struggling. So that's why government has also included that thing also. Now you might have seen in the UPSC also many EWS certificates they can be easily got. Okay, we are so many cases have been filed. Okay, so they have claimed the reservations under the EWS, but later on under the Instagram they have shown with the rich lifestyles. So people file cases against them. Yeah, there are various cases of misuse of the EWS that is going on. So purpose is different. Reservation purpose is not a kind of economic incentive. No. Okay. For that purpose, there are different schemes. Okay. Here, the prime intention is, apart from the social safety, it is to increase the social status. To improve the status of the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes, not as a kind of employment incentive. What is happening currently? For suppose a person from the so-called forward caste, okay, they have not got the job, and the other person has got the job. Now it is causing an insecurity. Now the person has become big officer. Okay, another person is unemployed. So this is causing anxiety. So this is causing anxieties, and other communities are also demanding for more and more reservations. Even from the forward communities, they are saying we are backward, okay, and asking for the reservation. So providing more and more reservation is not at all the solution. Okay, so rationalization of the reservation and introducing of the creamy layer is a solution. That's why we are also going for the caste census, to make sure the reservation reach the right person, and then eventually we rationalize the reservation. Okay, that's why we have introduced caste census, and Rohini Commission was also set up. They said, okay, only few communities within the OBCs are benefiting. So that's why we have this creamy layer in the OBC, but we do not have the creamy layer in the SC and ST community. Okay, so probably that might be introduced. That is one side. On another side, this study found out, so though the reservations are supposed to happen in the government institutions, they have found in the higher level posts, the positions are remaining vacant and they are not allotting any kind of reservations. For suppose if a position is vacant for SC and ST community at the higher level, higher professor levels, they are keeping them vacant, but they are not filling them. Lower level posts, Group C, Group D, they are filling them, but higher level posts are not getting filled. So this article says that kind of discrimination is present. Okay, even though the reservation is present, but UGC, Universal Grants Commission, is not able to monitor. There are so many departments, so many institutions are there. It is not able to properly monitor, and this is not being implemented. So I'll utilize this point. So when they ask me about the reservation, I'll talk about both the sides, how the misuse is happening on the other end, how it is not being implemented on the other end. So finally, we'll talk about the conclusion. So reformation is required. Caste census, this can be implemented. Creamy layer can be introduced, and gradually it can be reformed to make sure it reaches to the desired people. Okay, so that should be our stand. We should not get emotional. This reservation, no. Okay. So we have to be just like we have always discussed. always be neutral. Okay, we have to develop this thought process. Okay, do not get overly emotionally guided by this thing. Generally, the other people who are not in the UPSC, they'll get guided by all those emotions and they'll say all those things. But you have to think, okay, what are the pros? Every policy will have some pros, cons. Misuse will be there, anything in every policy, anything. Okay, be it reservation or anything. So there will be some drawbacks, always it will be there. So our thing is, what are the good things and how to rectify the misuse or the drawbacks. Okay, now even when you see the extra protection that is provided to the women, so people on the Instagram, they'll see these things. Okay, a woman has committed this murder, that murder. Why do they need extra protection under this Domestic Violence Act? Okay, the women these days are this thing or not. Okay, that is not the case. Maybe yes, misuse is happening, but still more than those cases, more than that, the counterparts, male crimes and all, they are also still very, very high. Yes, some reform is also needed, but it does not mean we will completely withdraw. We will completely take away those extra rights that are provided to the women. Okay, that will totally create a kind of disaster. Okay, so we need to find a balance how the misuse can be reduced. Always remember this point, how to reduce the misuse. Okay, the same thing. See here, despite the central universities and premier institutions like IIT, IIM, AIMS often fail to fill the reserved faculty positions. See here, there is gap. As reported by this Union Education Minister, there were significant vacancies. Now, this is very important data. This is given by the Minister himself. Okay, Ministry himself. Okay, 45 central universities, 2,000 posts for the SC, 1,000 posts for the STs, and 4,000 for the OBCs are lying vacant. Special recruitment drives have been taken, but it is not working. Okay, so autonomy and oversight, the UGC, whatever the oversight that is there, they are not moving forward and they are showing the bias. And there is a 13-point roster system that was introduced by the UGC in 2018. What is this? So here, whenever they see the vacancies, for suppose JNTU University or Osmani University, as a whole Osmani University, they need to see the vacancies and they need to keep positions separate for the every community. But they are looking within the institution department wise. For suppose in the economics department, in the electronics department, there are 3 seats. So when there are 3 seats, okay, so they are not reserving any position for the particular communities. Okay, these things happen. When you look at the total institution wise, then you may get more number of seats. But when you look within the institution department wise, so you may not get the things. So various loopholes are being utilized. That's what's told in the article. So from the mains point of view, we need to understand this misuse and the report. Very important. Okay. Now rural demand. See, demand, why it is important? Only when there is demand, there will be production, supply. Only then there will be growth. It is said that, see here, okay, there is a slowdown happening. Okay, manufacturing sector has been slowed down. All the sectors like textile, leather, chemicals, pharmaceuticals, every sector is going down. Even consumer durables, non-consumer durables, all of them are going down. So government is waiting that festival season is coming up, Deepavali, Dasara. Okay, so then the rural demand might go up. Okay, when the rural demand might go up, then only automobile sector, they will produce more and more vehicles. Okay, if there is no demand, okay, there should be demand with, that's why there should be minimal inflation, 3%. That's why RBI also has range of 4 plus or minus 2, right? 2 to 6% is the range, because only when there is some price rise, returns are being generated by the companies, only then there will be incentive and they will be supporting the growth. So that's they are talking about article. Rural demand, subdued rural demand is happening. So we need to promote the rural demand. Clear? Artificial rain. So Delhi is set to conduct its first artificial rain trial through the cloud seeding. So basically, how do you get the rains? See, for the rain you need 2 things: temperature and the moisture. For suppose when the temperature is high, air becomes thin. When it is low, air becomes condensed. So when the temperature is high, air becomes thin and it starts to rise. Wind starts to rise like this. As the wind rises, its temperature decreases. Generally, with altitude, temperatures will decrease. So the temperature in this air parcel will be reduced. As the temperatures are lowered, usually in the cold conditions, condensations will happen. Condensation means state change from the gases to the solid state or liquid state. So here you have the water moisture, okay, like this, floating water moisture, and this will be converted to the solid or the liquid state. So this will form the clouds with the ice crystals. But for this to happen, you need those spaces, those base on which your ice will be formed. See, if you put something, generally water in the freezer, it needs some kind of base. That's why, in order to form those ice cubes, you will put a tray. By pouring water, you will put the tray. The same way here also, to form the ice crystals, they need some kind of solid mechanisms. Okay, generally dust particles offer that support to form the clouds. Now, this Delhi, they are releasing sodium nitrate and potassium nitrate in the air, so that they can artificially the clouds get formed. This water vapor will be condensed to form the clouds. Once the clouds are formed, the water droplets become heavy and they will come down, fall down. The falling down of water droplets is nothing but the precipitation. As simple as that. So whenever there is a rain, so it will also reduce the pollution. Delhi is known for severe pollution. So when there is wind circulation is happening, low pressure, wind is rising, clouds formation of the rains. So washing away of the dust particles keeps on happening. Okay, today, this year also they have asked a question in the geography. Okay, where do you find more amount of dust? Generally in the high pressure conditions. This is the low pressure condition. Wherever you see the rainfall, these are the low pressure conditions. In the high pressure conditions where the dry winds are there you will see more heavier air pollution. So they are using, so they have asked two questions on the same lines. They have used what are those particles that are used for the artificial rains or cloud seeding. Cloud seeding is nothing but the artificial rain. So in potassium nitrate and the sodium nitrate. Using this, they are causing the rainfall. But this should be the temporary mechanism. Okay, because you are creating rains, even though water moisture is not there, you are forcing it to form the clouds and cause the rainfalls. So it should be a temporary mechanism, it should not be a permanent mechanism. That's what the article says it. Now see here, if they ask in the positives, okay, so if they ask in the mains, can you see here, the chemical agents that are used here typically are silver iodide, potassium iodide and the dry ice. These are the two methods, aerial seedings and the ground based seeding. So applications, see here, artificial rains to produce the amount of rainfall which can support the vegetation, crop growth, food security growth. Okay, so these are the advantages. Air quality will be benefited, weather can be improved. So instead of high dry conditions, weather can be improved. This is how I'll write for the mains. Positives, what is it? Positives, and what are it? Negatives. High cost, maybe you are playing with the nature, so it can be causing unintended consequences. Sometimes heavy rainfalls, floods can also happen, or somewhere where it was supposed to cause rainfall, there the monsoon disruption can happen and it is causing the rainfall here. So you are changing the weather patterns, or it might cause, so you have released there, okay, but you cannot control what can happen next. So it can happen sometimes unintended consequences, huge floods can happen. Okay, even these things are also possible. So you need to prepare well the positives and the negatives. Okay. So international conflicts can arise. So those things. Okay, interstate conflicts and international conflicts, because this is artificially you are creating something. Okay, creating moisture to get condensed. Now next article, groundwater crisis in the Karnataka. See, Karnataka is facing huge amount of the water, especially in the areas of the Bengaluru. Once a question asked in the mains, UPSC mains, all the tier 1 cities like Bengaluru, Chennai, Hyderabad, they are facing water crisis. Discussed why. This was a question asked in the mains. One thing is, especially primarily these cities like Hyderabad, see, one thing is, these are present in the Deccan Plateau. Here the rocks are very hard, granitic rocks are present. Okay, granitic rocks are present. These are very hard rocks. These rocks are not porous and permeable. They are not porous and permeable. That means, what is porosity? Porosity means holes. When there are holes, water gets stored in these holes. Okay. For suppose water gets into this. Permeable means the rocks are connected like this. So this will lead to the formation of the groundwater when the rocks are porous and the permeable. But generally, this peninsular plateau is not porous and permeable. So usually here groundwater you will not find abundant. You will find these things in the plains, in the sedimentary rock zones. Generally you will find there abundant groundwater, but here you will not find. Naturally the water levels are low. Now you are okay, generally usually water levels are low. Now what are you doing? So people population are increasing, so they are constructing more bore wells. With this bore wells, so they are consuming more and more water, so they are exploiting more and more water. So with this, the level of groundwater is further going down. The level of water is further going down. Groundwater is depleting. It is further going down. So this is another problem. See here, groundwater levels are further decreasing. There is a what is that act? Land Easement Act. Very important. Land Easement Act. So as per this act, for suppose, okay, he purchased the land, then whatever the water that is present under his land is his, belongs to his. Okay. And coupled with this, free power subsidy. So if a farmer has a land and the farmer is being provided free power subsidy, so they will extract more amount of water. Now with this, there is also more population demand. So population, people, these IT cities, these tier 1 cities are developing more. So people are migrating to these areas. So more and more bore wells are constructing and all these areas are struggling with the water crisis. Will you remember all these 5 points? So next time when I ask you, so you should be in a position to mention at least these basic points. I have not got in detail about all the points that is causing the water crisis, but I have tried to provide some points, the most important points that is causing water crisis in this area. Apart from this intensive agriculture, there is also playing role that I have said, the free power that is available. See here, depth is increasing, it is causing issues, all these concerns. Then just briefly, operation conviction. Okay, fast tracking of cases, prosecution, investigation, they are done in the UP. Okay, so operation conviction. So see here, so they have cleared the cases in a fast track manner, investigation, everything. In the same way, Operation Melon. Okay, see here, Narcotics Control Bureau. Okay, so they have decoded this in the same way like your hit movies. Okay, like your Annie. Okay, who exposed this, who went into this dark web and identified who are the persons are involved and all. So in the same way, they have worked for 2 years using this dark websites. Okay, they have used the technology and they have tried to identify. See here, active for 2 years before being busted. Okay, so they have operated via the darknet, a concealed part of the internet, often used for the illegal activities. So this darknet. So generally, when you search for any kind of website and all, when you search in the Google website, so those websites which are legal, which do not violate any code, so those addresses will be available. But dark web means those websites where they are not traceable. Okay, you cannot search. There will be separate search engines. Okay, so directly will be going through those things. They are not available, and through these things, various illegal activities will keep on happening. Okay, so the way it is shown in that movie. So all those kind of psycho people, okay, all those people and all these kind of drug-related activities, whatnot, all the illegal activities that happens on those areas. Okay, so it is very difficult to trace it, track it. So they have finally busted this thing. So this can be a very good example to be utilized in the GS3 security issues. See, drug problem is increasing. There are people, I do not know why, like say even recently there was a movie stars who got caught. Okay, the famous star who got caught under this drug abuse. This intoxication, always people, so when they get satisfied with this thing, okay, they want little bit more higher. Okay, they want little more high. So like this, okay, they'll go into this thing. Okay, there is no limit. So that's why those ethics and values, when we study those things, so we have to study those things in a conscious mind. Okay, so whatever the benefits or things that we try to get through our body, through those things, you cannot get satisfied for the longer duration. So ultimately, again, it will cost you in a very disastrous manner. Okay, so these things are happening, and India is facing severe problem. Okay, so even in the south states, Punjab states, the other countries, they want you to consume drugs, especially youth, because India is having good youth population, and this can be a dividend. They want to destroy this dividend. We have discussed only 20 years is left for the youth. So if all the youth is intoxicated, okay, they are just addicted, taking drugs and all, so they will be happy. China, Pakistan, okay, yeah, suffer. Okay, so they are promoting this illegal drug trade in the India. Okay, there is an organized crime. What they do, they will supply this kind of drugs. Okay, sometimes they use terrorists also. Terrorists, they need money for purchasing weapons. So they will pass on these drugs. They will support the promotion of these drugs. Using this, they will get the money. So there is a nexus between the organized crime and the terrorism. Okay, so they will generate the money and they will use this money to purchase the arms. So even the forces, okay, sometimes they will get corrupted and they promote this thing. So it is very, very important. So they can ask even in the society GS1 question, why there is a rising problem of drug addiction in India. Okay, so you have to talk on the multiple fronts. On the social fronts, broken families, nuclear families, loneliness, isolation, digital addiction, de-addiction. Alienation means isolation. Okay, so all these are the social problems. Apart from this, we are also close to, what are those two areas? Crescent and the golden crescent and the golden triangle. We have discussed this thing. Crescent is present in the western bloc and eastern bloc. You have this triangle and porous borders. These are the security related things. Okay, from the security dimensions. And then on the economic fronts, you have money laundering. Okay, in order to convert your black money into white money, and then you are utilizing this for these activities and all. So you have problems on the multiple fronts. Though there is a legal mechanisms, Narcotics and Crime Prevention Act is there, Narcotics Crime Bureau is there, Money Laundering Bureau is there. There is a coordination and cooperation from all the bodies, and there is a need for drug addiction centers, de-addiction centers, rehabilitation centers. Recently, there was also news in every district they are setting up drug rehabilitation centers. Okay, for the de-addiction purposes. Then we have to work on all the fronts. Okay, if it is just only on one front, it is not going to resolve. Okay, so this is how you will study. That's all for today. Thank you. Bye bye.